Next video is going to be about the what do you call it, the CL63, but today's video is going to be about the E38. So this video is going to be why you should take the time to part a car out before you take a super lowball offer on it. And I say that because I made a lot more money than I could have ever sold this thing for in one piece. So yeah, well, firstly, let's get into what it's looking like right now. Is it a lot of work? Yes, but it's not as much work as you'd think. Why? Because the way I did it. What the hell? How did this thing? Oh Lord! Well, I could get hammered out, but yeah. So let's put this here, and yeah, let's you can see it from, oh, actually this thingy. Give me a quick second. Boom. So literally everything that can basically be taken off and taken out is taken off and taken out. How did I do this with making a lot of money and not really having to do a lot of work myself? I offered slightly less prices than what they go for market, and I had people come take the stuff off themselves. The reason I did that is, one, a lot of the times you'll just do it like a junkyard. You'll be like, well, you can come grab this thing off the car, I'll be here at this time, and have at it. And that's what I did. The only thing I really took off myself was the dash, because I sold that to somebody who purchased it shipping, like the dash and the center console, which wasn't too terrible. It was annoying, but it wasn't too terrible. This thing is literally down to nothing besides like the trunk, the shifter, as you can see, the quarters, the roof, and the glass. The front glass got broken, so the guy didn't end up buying that, or he couldn't end up taking that. The rear glass is still in good shape. So yeah, you're probably wondering, Jermaine, what are you going to be doing now? This thing is just a non-rolling heap that's just sitting here in the middle of your yard, taking up space and looking crazy. It's a great question. I have no idea what I'm going to do yet. But I do, well, not that I have no ideas, but I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But I do have some ideas. So, one idea that I have is seeing if I can find like a good saw and some good blades, and like doing a couple things. So I'd be cutting parts off. Like I could like cut like the front section off, or like cut here and cut there, and then cut here and then cut there, like cut it up and then bring it to like a scrap metal place. Or I can see if a junkyard will take it, but I don't want to pay anything, so I'm going to see if I could get a junkyard to take it for free. What else? Yeah, and then another thing is, if I take it to a scrap metal place, one thing that I noticed is there are no, that's one thing I hate about this goddamn thing. It always just flops right back over. But there are no E38 rear quarter panels for sale. So one thing I may do is cut this off like body shop style, because I do see like E39 ones selling for like $500+. So what I would do is take the taillights out, take the trunk off, most likely just like break the glass or see if somebody wants to come buy the rear glass or whatever, and then cut it off here, and then in like this across and into the trunk, sell this whole rear quarter, or cut off this whole rear quarter. Or I could just cut the shell off, which will be like cutting it from like here here and then just like cutting this outer shell and taking it off. But I would prefer to do it the proper way, which is cut into the trunk and everything, and then have them cut down what they need and then graft it on. But yeah, because they're pretty straight. There's no real dents or dings or anything like that. The paint is even good, so it could work. It would just take a lot of work, or I could attempt to do it the same way that I did before and have somebody come do it themselves. Like, it's a possibility. Just sell them for cheap, like $150 per side. They come cut them off, and they can either keep them and use them or sell them for $300, $400, $500, $600+ each, because again, there are none for sale. So if somebody does want to do this, they would either have to cut some off themselves or do the body work and put Bondo and do all that craziness. These are perfect. Has a teeny little dent right here, which is nothing. So yeah, this is why you should part your car out as much as possible before you take a very low price for your car whole. Like, there was a point where I did list this car whole with the coilovers and everything for, what was it? Like, it was something stupid low too, like $2,500 or something like that, or even $2,000. And I bought this thing for $3,500 or something like that, or I put it up for $3,000 or something. But it was full, and somebody could have made as much money as I made. I don't know how much I made yet. I'm gonna have to go through like all my prices and everything and get like a rough estimate of what I sold everything for. But I'm quite sure I've made about $4,000 profit off this thing, and it can still feed me a bit more. Like, I could take the shifter out and get a couple bucks for it. Again, I could do the rear windshield, the trunk, the quarters, like these little BMW side steps, which I am going to take off because why not? They're all in good condition. I believe they're all here. I have to check. But yeah, like you can see, boom, good condition. Or I don't know if you guys saw it or if I walked away too fast. But yeah, the only one that's not there, right? Oh, well, this one's broken. So, oh, well, that's the driver one. So, of course. But yeah, like, there's just like things. Because even the gas tank is gone. The gas tanks on these are like $700. I sold it for $150. It's like, I was never going to take it out myself. So it's either I get $150 or I leave it on the car and get nothing. Because I for damn sure was not about to try to take that thing off myself. But yeah, like, you guys will be updated on what I will end up doing, whether that be selling this thingy to a junkyard or having them come take it out for free. Because again, junkyards are the place where people go and cut a rear quarter panel off and stuff like that. Cut a floorboard out because my floorboards aren't too crazy. Cut a roof out because my roof is pretty good. Like, you know, there's a good amount of stuff on here that can still be salvaged. So yeah, that's basically what this video was, just walking around and explaining to you why you guys should part your cars out. Because again, I spent, I believe, $3,500 on this car, maybe another $500 in parts and labor, and then I sold different things like the engine and trans $500 because I was never taking that out myself. Sold the harness $250. I sold the coilovers like $400 and $250. I sold the fenders like $150 each or $100 each. I sold the doors, one door for like $150. The other 3 doors were like $80 each because again, it was an imperfect set and there was no door card. So I sold the dash for like $400 or $500. Center console for $500. Interior like $300. Like just the seats, door cards, I sold for like $300 or $400, like $100 each or something like that. The front and rear lips I sold for like $400. Rear diff, drive shaft and everything like that, and the front subframe 450. So like, you guys see where I'm going with this, like the bonnet 150. So like, there's a ton more parts, like even just the rear reading lights, 150 bucks. So like, if I actually went through and tallied up every single thing that I sold off this car and what I still have, and like put a price on it, I would say that I could possibly make around 5 to 6 grand in profit off of this car. So yes, it's an eyesore. Yes, it was quite a bit of work for some things because I did have to do some stuff, but for the most part, I had people come do it. If I did everything myself and did it, I could have made way more. So I do see why dismantlers and stuff like that make so much money, and why it's such a viable business, especially for vehicles like this, because you can't buy them anymore. Parts are super expensive if you buy whatever back stock they have at dealerships and everything like that. So yeah, I highly suggest you part your cars out that are not worth saving, because again, this one was by no means worth saving. It was technically mechanically totaled because it required too much work to put back together, and I would have probably only been able to sell this car for like 6,000 to 7,000 maybe, and that would be after I put like 3,000 into it, so I would have made nothing. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll get back to you guys in the next one. It'll either be a CL63 video or an X5 video, but yeah, till the next one, peace. You already know, drink water, motherfuckers.
NANI?!